What's going on, everybody? You're listening to 91.3 FM WTSR at the College of New Jersey, and this is the weekly Smash Wrap, where we bring you stories from the underground world of Smash Ultimate here at TCNJ throughout New Jersey and the world. I'm Oscar Fan 69, and this is
Casey. Listen, Owen, we have a very special episode because we're not just talking about concurrent Smash news. I mean, obviously, we talk about Smash news all the time, what's going on in the Super Smash Bros. World, but we're also here to do some legacy talk.
Ooh.
Talk about the GOATs. Talk about the all-time great moments, players, characters, etc.
We're talking about LeBron?
Yes. And here
yo.
with me is the number one LeBron fan in all of TCNJ. Give it up for ShineBurst. How you doing? How's your summer been?
Pretty good. I spent all my summer learning the Japanese language because at the time of this being recorded, I am in the process of applying to Japan. To Japan.
To Japan, yeah. No, that'd be
Nihongo.
fun.
Nihon.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Just out of curiosity, would you ever, if you go to Japan, would you ever go to a Japanese Smash tournament just to see what's up?
By Smash, you mean Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to... Okay, I'll explain the reason. Every single Japanese Smash player, majority of them play really lame, and I don't care about any of them. Japanese Street Fighter players, on the other hand, are literally some of the legends. Like, obviously, you have Daigo, you have Tokido, you have Bonchan, and you have, Momochi. I could go on.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, that's very
Yeah,
fair. I mean,
that
Japan's
answers
awesome.
that question. I mean,
Wait,
pretty
what question?
decisively. You know, the question, would you go to hang out at the Japanese Smash thing? It was pretty solid no. Like, would you even just go to hang out? Yeah, bro, not even once. Not even once.
Screw them all. Oh, man. But yeah, you've been learning Japanese. You've been playing a lot of Street Fighter. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
You were in that charity tournament.
I was.
How was that?
I had a ton of fun. Quick shout out to Pantheon because he went undefeated on the
True.
final bracket, and I was also undefeated on the final bracket.
Humble flex.
Shout outs to Team Kai for being an amazing coach. He knows about Modern more than I ever will, which was really helpful
Wait, he knows
because
about Modern?
yeah.
Yeah, what's his number?
This guy is Metafy?
Hit me up.
Every single one of my teammates was on Modern, and I was the only Classic player. So like,
Wait, that's actually so funny.
I could not
Surrounded by idiots.
I could not help with Modern controls. And as for Mom Gaming, she really tried, and I could tell she had potential on the final bracket. On day one, she was having a tough time, but she almost took a set on day two, and that's a lot of progress in just one day.
She really cleaned up. Not only could she actually connect to the server, she actually took a few games.
That's also true.
I vaguely heard about all the Wi-Fi issues going on.
Oh yeah.
with
Also, all
I
my
heard about Chris Womp crashing out.
Yeah.
Even though he was
wait, I
also-
want to say this. Chris Womp Womp, I took a game, but there was like 2 seconds of lag at the end, so he DM'd me asking if we could run it back because of 2 seconds of lag. And you know what I
Owen.
told him? Absolutely not. What are you thinking?
Oh, and you know what the funny thing was?
What was the funny thing?
He was playing on Wi-Fi, and you weren't playing on Brian's setup, which means he was on LAN, or you were on LAN.
Listen, I'm not going to be the one to say which is more faulty, LAN or Wi-Fi, but... You know.
Oh, okay. Speaking
Who
of
knows?
Wi-Fi, GG's to all my opponents. I love you. I love you guys, but like, please get LAN.
Please get LAN, bro. I'm telling you, it will change your life.
I'm not gonna fault one of them though, because he couldn't have access to LAN. But
Okay.
the
That's
other
true.
two, you guys have no excuse.
Yeah, you guys are on watch
I'm not gonna name names.
for sure.
And now that we said many, many things about Street Fighter, I think it's time to pivot the discussion to Kenny's least favorite game of all time,
Yes, sir.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
And speaking of Smash Bros. Ultimate, you've played a lot of Smash. We had you on the show last semester. You're our first reoccurring guest on this show. And we asked you a lot of questions in that interview, but there was infamously one question that I completely forgot to ask, and that was what your tag comes from. Because I feel like ShineBurst is a very catchy tag, and it's just something that we kind of take for granted. And I've completely forgot to ask where that came from, because I know it has a pretty interesting origin, right?
Yes. So everyone always assumes it refers to Shine like the move, like because I also used to play Melee a lot, so
Toria.
everyone thinks it's everyone thinks it's a Fox and Falco's Reflector, and no, it's not Smash related at all. My tag actually originates from Digimon because growing up as a kid, I love that show. I love the whole series, and to this day, as an adult, I still love it.
Wow.
So where my actual name comes from is in season 5. I think is called Digimon Data Squad or Digimon Savers, depending on like which version.
Yeah.
There's the Digimon called, so it's Agumon, and his like max evolution is called Shine Greymon, and Shine Greymon also has like, I guess, a Super Saiyan form called Shine Greymon Burst Mode. So I just took the Shine and the Burst together, and then I just stuck with it.
Nice. I mean, honestly, that's like pretty deep cut when you think about it, because Digimon historically has not been as popular as it was like in the 90s and early 2000s. So we still got some Digimon representation here at TCNJ, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, and the FGC, I just want to give a quick shout out to Beckmon for also being the other Digimon rep.
Yeah,
let's
that's
go.
right.
It's always nice hearing other people's tags. They're never what you think they are.
Awesome.
I remember I was blown away. I don't know why I was so surprised, but when AJ said that his was like a word scramble from like 6th grade, a Pokwa,
Dude, that is crazy lore. Oh my lord.
that was like the deepest of cuts. But anyway,
Yeah.
now Kenny, you are a staunch hater of Smash Ultimate. You are
Maybe.
you hate on this game like some people hate on war and hunger and poverty.
I'm like how Idom complains about Street Fighter 6.
You're like how Leffen complains about everything.
Oh yeah.
Kenny is the Leffen of Phelps Hall, TCNJ.
Okay, well don't compare me to him.
Okay. True, I would not want to be compared to Leffen either. Hey, Leffen, if you're listening, no shade,
No diss. No diss.
no diss, because
You're not lawful.
I don't know. Because God knows you're gonna tweet about me if you feel like it. Anyway, point is, you're a hater of this game, and you have some very compelling arguments as to why nobody should play this game ever again.
Many of which I think I successfully relayed in our last episode when we did our whole debate. I think in Melee, I didn't do a great job of, I guess, preparing you for the situation.
Yeah.
Because
You had like statistics. You were citing like, medieval theologians from like the 16th century.
I was
I'm
on
over here like,
You're citing everything on APA and MLA format.
and I'm over here like, I like Crumb.
Yeah, I definitely had the upper hand there. So I felt like it would be more fair to have another crack at it, this time with the roles reversed. You guys have heard me make the argument that Ultimate is washed and that Ultimate is dying. And that's ultimately, I think, the stance that I still kind of have right now, that Ultimate is on the decline. However, I'm going to take on the challenge of trying to prove that Ultimate is not a dead game, that it can still thrive, and that cool stuff and cool storylines can still happen.
All right. Well, do you want me to go first, or do you want to take it?
You can go first. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to specifically get off your mind.
Well, I'll say, I did not come prepared for this one either, but
Perfect.
I'll do my best. Hey, listen. First of all, why is Ultimate washed? Let me ask you. First of all, everyone knows this. This is just common knowledge. I'm just restating the obvious. But the coolest characters in this game are mid. They're absolutely mid. Crom. He's mid.
Sure. Yeah.
Roy is making Cola crash out.
Sure. Yeah.
Roy is making Cola a day trader full time.
Making him lose $60,000.
Oh
He's
my
going to be
goodness.
broke by the time this season's over.
He's gonna be broke by the time this episode airs.
Roy's fun until you have to fight
Every character
Snake, Steve, Min Min,
and Game & Watch
Game & Watch,
And-
Aegis,
and
Rob,
Rob
yeah.
and
Just go down the
Sonic.
list. from Meta Knight.
Sonic and Rob are actually not
Actually,
that
yeah,
bad.
it's not that bad.
But every other top tier is pretty bad.
But then you get upbeat by Sonic.
Roy has
That
an
feels pretty
unwinnable.
bad.
Roy does have an unwinnable matchup against Kazuya though.
Oh, yeah. it's
True.
really
he
awful.
he
Truth
should
Nuke.
he should never win that matchup.
I've been saying Truth Nuke a lot lately. It's become my new vocal stim. Because you know the Apoco video of the Street Fighter 6 tier list, how
Yeah.
Brian kept responding to everything with true. He's like, true. This is the most like minute statement ever, and I've been saying truth nuke a lot lately. But anyways, as you were saying, was there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, that was my main point. I don't think I have anything else I want to get to right now. I'm gonna be thinking of arguments while you're
Okay.
relaying the
Well,
point.
first of all, I think that's fair. And I think that's a thing that's kind of hard to argue. One, because, obviously the coolness of a game is very subjective, but admittedly, we all kind of agree that, like, this game has a lot of not fun characters that are at the top of the metagame. But I think for me, the reason why I want to make this argument is because I was just really thinking about how over the past few years, we've obviously been seeing declining numbers in terms of spectatorship, attendees, but at the same time, we look at Japan, and I'm really looking at Japan, and it's really interesting because for some reason, this game is so old. Again, it came out when I was a freshman in high school, and I'm about to graduate college this year, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
We've had all this time with the metagame, finding ways to break the game on a competitive level, on a fun level, obviously, but yet at the same time, this game is like bigger than ever in Japan. Like people in Japan love this game and will ride or die by this game, and we saw that
Really?
with tournaments like Kaguribi 13, which obviously is the biggest tournament not only just in Ultimate history, but one of the biggest tournaments in Super Smash Bros. History. Period, in terms of attendance numbers and top player attendance. We're also seeing Umebara's as well, the Umebara, I believe, 12 that we talked about last week, which was also a really huge major that had, the likes of like Akala, Asimo, and more. And we're seeing like just kind of that stereotype of like it feels like every other week there's a major in Japan, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering like, okay, so we all kind of acknowledge that this game is dying. And yet in Japan, this game is more alive than it's been in the past several years, if we're being honest. And I really just was asking myself, like, why is that? Is the game actually, do these people actually enjoy the game?
What'd you-
I have a point to add to that. So we have to factor in the fact that Japan doesn't have prize pools because of their strict gambling laws.
Yeah.
But and that also has its own benefits. When you now let's like how we had the tournament in our dorm that was like for fun and
Yeah.
Love the game.
Yeah, they just do it for the love of the game. So because of that, whether they win or lose, they're able to keep on learning. And keep in mind, Japan also has a like very respectful culture. Like
Yeah.
that is they are big on that. Like they have like and same with Korean too. We have a whole language on formality and casual.
Yes.
So that's also another layer. But to add on to my last point about the no prize pool thing is they don't have to like keep worrying about spending money in case if you need to save him, and they don't have the pressure of I'm actually gonna lose more than like in the game. I'm actually like losing a bit financially too.
Yeah.
Which
So you're
obviously
saying for like Japanese terms, it's just all out of pockets by the TOs.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it's really the community that brings it together. And admittedly, Japan, it's easier for the community to come together, not only because it's just smaller than America. I mean, that's obviously a factor, but there's also extremely good public transportation, and there's also extremely densely populated cities where Smash tournaments happen. So tournaments in person are a lot more accessible to the average Japanese player, and also we look at these online brackets that are happening, these the Wi-Fi ladders, the Anthers ladder and stuff like that. There's a really good about as good of connection as possible as you could ask for in Japan.
yeah.
Obviously not great, but at least doable.
And to go back to your point about like respect in like Asian cultures, it's kind of interesting too because I feel like I'm gonna hypothesize here, but I don't think the memeing on this game would be as common in Japan as it is in America.
Definitely not. I think what also helps the Japanese Smash scene in general is since they don't have prize pools, they don't have like the extra pressure behind them.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think the main reason why NA falls behind so much is because it's all just due to ego. Because when you
Yeah.
add prize pools into the mix, everything just becomes more sweaty. Everything just becomes more of a money match instead of just like playing
Yes.
to improve.
Yes.
You're more focused to play to win, but in reality, all that does is just make you play worse. It just
Yes.
makes you more nervous than
Yes.
than it would normally. And it just makes things less accessible. And obviously, you could always have the J slur, but
Hey,
He means
whoa.
job.
We're trying to stay on the air here.
job.
Job.
Sorry.
J-O-B.
Trigger warning. Job. But obviously,
Yeah.
but then again, you don't know everyone's financial situation.
Yeah,
Some people
100%.
want to save money for something else. But having tournaments be free or like really cheap makes them able to pop out more while still being able to save up for whatever they need.
Yeah, and I think that lack of ego in the culture as well as the circumstances at hand, I think that is why in Japan Ultimate is able to thrive. I think because of that sort of cultural difference in terms of Americans always, and even like EU to an extent, always like kind of playing to win, to try and like make money, the sort of esportsification of Smash Ultimate, if you will. I feel like that's caused a lot of homogenization in character pick as well as in play style, even down to like stage selection. Like we see counter picking in Japan way more than we see in America, at least from an anecdotal experience. I've seen obviously in Tri-State, like people play on PS2 basically every single time. Whereas, like, I see in Japanese tournaments very frequently, you will see people counter pick to like more volatile stages, like Final Destination, like Town and City, like Smashville, just as random examples, right? And that's why I think one, parity in this game is stronger than ever. With the sort of Japanese community being so prolific in so many different fronts, we are seeing all of these different players rise and fall. I mean, I remember back in 2022, 2023, where we had the four horsemen, right?
Yeah.
Mia, Akala, Sonics, and Spargo. And we thought for sure these four guys would dominate the rest of Smash Ultimate to come.
And look what happened.
It didn't happen. I mean, obviously, they're still all like top 10, but Dormiki is the best player in the world now. Hurt, if he hadn't gotten banned for 2 months because of Wi-Fi mods, probably would have been the best in the world as well. I mean, we've seen Shuton continue to be one of the most excellent Smash Ultimate players of all time, having some of the best longevity we've ever seen. We saw Raru get second place at the biggest Smash Ultimate tournament ever. We are seeing like very unprecedented amounts of parity, which obviously makes things more volatile and makes it harder to, I guess, build up the legacies of certain players like a 2019 MKLeo or a 2019 Hungrybox. But it means there is always going to be some interesting storyline in every tournament. Every major, there's going to be some huge upset that we would have never seen coming. But at this point, huge upsets have become normal. I mean, at this point, Echo Stats, we're used to seeing the upset factor 10, upset factor 8, in these random major tournaments because that's just how it is. The skill gap between 1 and 100 is as low as it's ever been. And while obviously that has its own pros and cons, it leads to more interesting player matchups. It leads to more nuanced player matchups.
That was a rant that absolutely washed me in this argument again. Oh my god! And that's going to be the whole segment. We'll
Oh
be
my
right
goodness.
back. Damn, already. Welcome back, everybody, to the Weekly Smash Rap. We just got done. It started as a debate, more as like a collaborative discussion by the end. Just so I didn't lose.
Yeah.
About why Smash Ultimate is maybe not washed.
Potentially, allegedly, not washed. And I wanted to finish it out by, again, talking about the parody and talking about the sort of there's less of a esportsification in Smash Ultimate in Japan. It's more community based, I would say. In that kind of culture, that less leaning on like competitiveness, winning, money, and stuff like that. leads to not only greater player diversity in who's at the top, who's at the bottom, but also character diversity as well. And obviously the stereotype is all of the lame characters are at the top, which is true. Again, I'm of the proponent that Ultimate is kind of washed, and part of my argument to that would be that a lot of the top characters, like top 20 characters we see, are not very fun to watch from a spectator's perspective or a competitor's perspective. But I mean, if we go down this top 100 list, we look at some of the top players. I mean, you have obviously Karage, who I've been talking about endlessly, just been glazing to no end. And he's out here playing Captain Falcon. Like, we don't have any top-level Captain Falcons here in America. And yet, we not only have Karage in Japan, we also had Jogibu, who would have been top 50 if he hadn't retired, because obviously he has a job, and he has a life, and he's 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has
a what?
He's an FGC guy at this point.
Pretty much. And then you also have players like Reno, who jumped up 62 spots, made to the top 50, using Byleth, Sephiroth, and Greninja, kind of like a tri-main situation there. We're seeing players like that, even at number 45, rising up 22 spots from 67 last time, is Mild Nut HO, who plays, got this Donkey Kong, Mii Brawler, and Bowser. Like, absolutely hilarious character selection. And obviously, we have players like Kaninabe with the Fox. We have Mark with the Yoshi. We have, again, I mentioned Karage. You have Alice with the Roy. Even Suna with the Roy, also the Greninja and Cloud as well. Gachipi with the Lucario at, number like 80 in the world or something like that. Like, we are not seeing that levels of character diversity in the top 100 for any other region. And so even though, yes, you do have a lot of lame characters that Japanese players play, we are seeing, again, unprecedented amounts of character representation from the Japanese region. I think that is something that the rest of the world can really learn from. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, is that I think the rest of the world needs to catch up to Japan in terms of competitive mindset. And I think that can lead to more exciting gameplay and better tournaments.
We got to fix our economy first, though, and then we can worry about that.
I mean, obviously that's extremely true,
and our car-dependent infrastructure.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and we can have Smash Bros.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like, if we had like good public transport, like, a lot of things would need to happen. But I think there are avenues for this game to be like, the meta doesn't have to be this bad. Is basically what I'm saying. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. If you think my argument against Smash Ultimate is more compelling, let me know. I'm curious to see what people think about my two arguments from both sides.
Hey, the Buddha said, desire is the root of all dropped combos.
I just wanted to point out, I do agree with like both of your sides. The points you made are extremely valid. However, can I like offer a different perspective? Even on the casual side, I actually don't think Ultimate is that great. In my opinion, World of Light is terrible.
True.
It gets boring in like 5 minutes. I don't like how classic mode is done in this game. I miss how I miss Brawl's classic mode. That is easily my favorite.
It doesn't feel
one
as
of all time.
epic as it used to.
It doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
Same with All-Star mode. It doesn't hit the same.
It feels more arcadey than like epic.
There's no target test, no board the platforms.
Yeah.
None of that. Home run contest is not fun either.
No trophies.
No trophy.
You don't understand how many hours I spent just scrolling through the trophy gallery in Brawl. They don't understand, bro.
They don't.
But yeah.
Me looking lovingly at my spirit collection.
And it's just a PNG for them on each one.
Really.
Spirits in the big
JPEG.
2025, bro. Heartbreak emoji, fallen rose emoji. Oh
But I think I disagree with you, Kenny, a little bit, because I think as generations come and go, I think Smash is just always going to be the ultimate casual game for like parties. It's going to be, people say it's not a fighting game, it's a party game, but I think it really is always going to be, at the very least, the ultimate party game. And so.
Sorry. I meant to clarify. In that sense, yes. Because of the amount of characters and stages, yes, it is good in that regard. The single player content, however, I don't think it's good at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, single player ultimate kind of sucks.
Which I feel like is also a big selling point when it comes to appealing the casual fan base.
Yeah. That's why, even though for me, like, Smash Ultimate is like by far and away like not even close my most played game of all time. But I probably wouldn't even put it in like my top 25 favorite games of all time, because like the part that I love about Smash is such a small fraction of the actual total content of Smash, and a lot of the rest of the content I'm like kind of whatever on. I'd still give it like a 4 stars probably. It's an amazing game, but like it definitely could have been better. But
Yeah, I agree.
nevertheless, that's all the ultimate debate talk we have in us today.
I agree. I have no more arguments. I couldn't think of any, and I'm not gonna be click-clacking on my laptop looking for sources.
EBSCO host,
ChatGPT.
Grok.
yeah.
Is this true?
Grok, is this true?
Just like digest the whole argument and then like Grok, is this true? Wait,
Dude, I hate people. Dude, oh my god, oh my lord, dude, people who talk to Grok like not just like in Twitter threads. The people that reply to a tweet going at Grok, is this true? You guys are genuinely like the scum of the earth.
people who do that, I'm
not-
not sure you would pass a high school composition class.
You would not pass a 7th grade English paper, dude. I swear to all the higher beings on planet Earth, bro. I swear.
I mean, 7th graders nowadays are reading at a 4th grade level.
That's true, but
Anyway.
That's a
Another
different
conversation.
Topic. That's a different topic.
all the 4th graders listening, or the 7th graders, or the high schoolers, or the Grok users,
Do better.
If you if you want to,
if you want to.
if you understood Casey's argument at all, I hope you did. Anyway, now I'm going to move on to some quick local news real quick.
Yes, sir.
Little bit of a lightning round. First up, patrons of Smash the Glass in Rowan, I've got some terribly sad news. This past Wednesday was the last one for an indefinite period, which I'm pretty sure means it's dead.
Let me know.
Do you love the way I do it?
Nah, but Smash the Glass has been another like local pillar of the Tri-State Smash community, so it sucks to see another one go, man.
Yeah,
It
it really
does.
does. Just another death to lay at the hands of no public transportation.
I feel locals dying on a personal level.
I know,
Platinum
man.
Star.
Platinum Star, I love you, and I miss you. I miss you every day.
You were getting mad at me the other day because I put in the thumbnail for the last Smash
Oh,
Rap
yeah.
Platinum
Oh
Star
yeah.
game.
Oh yeah.
I just heard you like wailing in agony from the other room.
Yeah. That was like that one scene in Attack on Titan where Aaron's just screaming and while on the ground like laying like this. Yeah. That was me.
It's tragic. But BD Beam was talking about this not too long ago, too. He said, hey, listen, if we want Smash to survive in Tri-State, we need more locals. We
Yes,
can't just all
sir.
be watching the same major every week.
That's exactly what I'm saying when it comes to like the esportsification. We gotta abolish all majors, stop them all. We're only doing locals from now on.
Listen, when society collapses and we're all back in our own little tribes, maybe Ultimate will thrive.
True.
Also, can we
Genuine truth
get rid of the point system? It's also a reason why it's been the spectating experience is also falling off hard.
Because people will see Collision and be like, "Oh, it's only a B+ tier. I'm not watching that."
And plus, I'm not going or whatever.
Yeah.
like that helps nobody.
And it's whack, bro.
It gets to the point where like the only tournaments people care about anymore are the Kagaribi 13s, which, I mean, no surprise, only come once every game's lifetime.
Yeah, once every like literal blue moon.
But
yeah.
with that out of the way, I also want to mention a G4G member, of which I am a part.
G4G update.
Green for Gatorade.
That's real bad.
Modern
Someone
Honda.
commissioned shoe stats again for another top 100 in NJ, and Kazi is 50.
Yes, sir. Congrats to Kazi, bro. I love seeing Kazi win. He's just one of the most likable people in all of New Jersey, in terms of the Smash community. So it's cool seeing him at number 50. I got a problem though, not with him, but with shoe stats. Why is BJR number 100 on this list?
That's what I'm saying.
What are we doing? When was the last time he's been to a local?
What the hell is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
Nah, but on everybody's soul, dude. I swear to Allah, Zeus, God, like everyone, like Buddha, like
Leviathan.
I swear, Leviathan.
Odin, everyone.
I swear to the God that they pray for in the Sea of Stars, like to all of them.
Every single Final Fantasy god.
Arceus.
Hey, the Buddha said, BGR being on Shoestat's top 100 is the root of all suffering. What is he doing there?
Dude, I can't believe he's top 100, bro.
It's whack. It's whack. We also got some other familiar faces. We got Sentinel 62. That's good.
Yes, sir.
Congrats. I'm trying to look at who else we know here. We got Wob 88. That kind of. Oh, never mind. He went down. Krill Dog went down too. We're all getting washed.
I'm not even on
We all
there.
suck.
It's
Hey,
totally
shout out Pescado for getting 61.
Oh yeah. I don't even think he attends that much, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but listen, man. Number 61, New Jersey. Number 1, Jeopardy in our hearts. You know
Hey,
how it is.
super champion.
We couldn't get him on the podcast.
We
Rich,
couldn't. We
richer
couldn't.
than any Smash player combined at
But,
this
shout out
point.
to Pescado though. That's one of the coolest people in the community.
Oh, Biscotto, just so you know, if you still want to come to the podcast,
Please,
you're always
please.
welcome.
We're
please.
begging you.
Owen's,
Please.
Owen's DMs are open.
And mine.
And then with those are all the main local things I wanted to talk about. Now we did have another
Well-
conversation planned.
There's actually one quick thing.
Oh, okay,
You
hit me with it.
forgot.
Did I forget?
And it's about a tournament that's going on about a 5-minute drive from here. We gotta talk about Ryder Esports Resort.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we got the Wii Sports Resort themed tournament for Ryder University. Obviously, I mean, I love the banner that they did for it
Yeah.
with the Street Fighter and Ultimate like Shulk render as well.
Hopefully Nintendo does not.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully
pull
Nintendo
anything.
doesn't kick down the door and drag out Julian by the hoodie.
It's gonna be Nelson as an undercover cop for Nintendo.
Guess who got a job after college?
Oh my
For those,
goodness.
for those who want to be clued in on the joke real quick, he graduated college. I think he's working for a liquor company now, but you never know. We don't really know what he's up to these days.
Shout out Nelson, bro. I hope he's thriving.
We miss them.
I miss Nelson, bro. I'm getting sad now just thinking about it. But listen, they do have some new Rider players, right?
They
New
do.
freshmen, right?
For both Smash and Street Fighter.
Ooh, who are the Street Fighter players? Like, who they play? Do we know?
I think Vaughn said one of them's like a 1400, 1500 MR Ryu, and then the
what?
and then the other
Oh my
is like
goodness.
Yeah, it's like
around
Master Rank,
diamond level.
Wow.
But they play like a bunch of different
Dude,
characters.
these players are good.
That's like, dude, I feel like I'm. It's like Slippy Kids, but for Street Fighter.
Ryder's kind of yoked. I'm not gonna lie. And I know in Smash Ultimate they have they have some players that are pretty decent that should be taking some sets off in the Ryder tournaments, but they play like Villager, Kazuya, and Incineroar, which is
K-Roll, Sword Fighter, Luigi, Kirby, Doc, and Hero. Those are all the
what a whack selection. Listen, I love it. I love to see it. What a whack selection of characters. No, that's fun though, because the lamest, because in TCNJ in the Mercer County area, the lamest players are always the coolest people. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, for sure,
True.
for sure.
Shout out McBob.
Hey, shout out JD.
True Nuke.
And with that, oh my god, yeah, I can't wait to see how this new Rider seasons go. It's gonna be very frustrating. It's gonna be interesting, but you know what? Smash Ultimate is about the highs and the lows. We play this game and do this podcast because we embrace the frustration for the love of the game.
And
Yes,
even
sir.
though if you have highs and lows, this game 90% of the time is lows.
It's
but
not-
but it's the delusion that
10%,
it's
baby.
the delusion that it's like when you have a crush and you know they don't like you, but you have to convince yourself they do like
But
you.
you're still simping for them.
Exactly. That's exactly what watching Ultimate is like.
Interesting analogy.
Well, now that we're done talking about my high school experience,
Let's talk about some all-time Smash debates. all right?
speaking
We
of
have- I have
going
a
back
fun-
in time, let's
I
go
have a
legacy
fun
mode.
activity for you guys. I want to talk about Smash's legacy, and we can start. We're gonna talk about the top 5, or maybe the Mount Rushmore of some of the greatest and worst things about the Smash series. So, first of all, we can talk about the best designed Smash characters of all time. Not quite necessarily the best of all time, but who is the most fun, who has the most competitive legacy.
I have the
What do you
easiest answer. Brawl Marth is literally the best designed character in any Smash game, and I will not argue on that.
If you're picking a character from Brawl, you would definitely pick Marth. Marth has a long history of doing cool stuff in Brawl, in a game that's historically not very cool competitively. I think obviously we have to include Melee Fox, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, that just has such a storied history. We might actually have to include 2.
Falco.
We could go Spaceys, but we could also get Melee Marston representation or another top tier like Melee Captain Falcon.
I was gonna say Falcon would be more.
Because, I
appropriate.
mean, we think about Captain Falcon, right? Wombo combo, you know, the Falcon punches. We think about, you know, all the great Captain Falcon players over the years that have done some insane things. I mean, it's really hard to even, you know, think about it. Even, like, to this day, we still have players like Salt, you know, kicking it. I mean, Wizrobe just made top 8 at Riptide, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I think
I'm still
Captain
thinking
Falcon could
about
be still there.
Wizrobe's Wolf at Smash and Splash.
Oh my goodness,
Speaking of, Wolf has to be up there.
dude! Ultimate Wolf. I think Ultimate Wolf is up there, but I would make the argument for Ultimate Joker. I think especially post nerf, because I think he was definitely overtuned, like 2019. But I think Ultimate Joker has just the right balance of DLC nonsense without being too overwhelming, and also not being as reliant on it as other DLC heavy characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've seen some of the coolest players of all time. Obviously, like MKLeo with the Joker is unforgettable, but even some more underrated Joker players like Goryoka and Omega in particular have done really cool things
And
with
Lemon.
Joker. And Lemon, yes, of course. So I think when it comes to Ultimate, you could put in Joker, you could put in Wolf, maybe Roy.
Ultimate Roy, yeah.
Ultimate Roy is a bit of a masher, but again,
So is everyone.
some of the coolest players in Smash Ultimate history, Alice, Cola, Goblin at their peak. I mean, some of the coolest players in Smash Ultimate history are Roy players. So
How do we feel about Melee Falco though? Because like I know he's kind of a cliched character, but some of the stuff people do with Falco is insane, and I feel like the ceiling just gets higher and higher with that character.
and you have
He's
like
definitely
you
more
have
technical
Magi,
than Fox. Yeah.
you know, you have BBB, you have obviously Mango, you know, the GOAT. We have a lot of all-time great. I mean, we might have 3. It might
And then-
literally.
Back in the day, you used to have PPMD and West Balls as well.
Oh my goodness, PPMD, I miss you.
I miss them too.
But Bobby, if only you didn't get in your car drunk and stream it.
Oh my goodness.
Wish we could turn back time.
Honestly, I
my
think
God.
I think the top 5 would probably be like Melee, Fox, Falco, and Captain Falcon, then Brawl, Marth, and then I think your pick of Ultimate like Joker,
Yeah.
Wolf, or Roy.
What would you
I
say
agree.
about 64 and Smash 4?
Well,
Actually, Smash 4 Sheik is
wait.
pretty
Drum
cool.
roll, please. We can hold that thought because the segment's just about to end. I'm
Uh-oh.
going to play something, and we will be right back.
But
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're enjoying the show. Real quick before we get back into it, I want to let you know that there will be a C Troop this week at TCNJ. It'll start at 5 p.m. in the Business Building, room 102. Street Fighter will be at 5:30, Ultimate Singles at 6, and with that, let's get back into the discussion. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the weekly Smash Wrap. We are going to resume our discussion about Smash Legacy. And Kenny wanted to mention something about Smash 64. I believe one of the best designed Smash 64 characters.
Admittedly, I don't know Smash 64 that well, but I do find Yoshi really cool in that game.
yeah, I mean, we think about even outside of just the tournaments itself, with Yoshi consistently being one of the best characters in Smash 64 history, also having a progressive rate of like growing in terms of like its ranking on the tier list and people finding out new things about Yoshi in Smash 64. We also see, of course, the combo contest. You know what I mean?
With
Prince,
Oh, yeah.
the GOAT. You know what I mean?
We have Wizrobe with cooking with Yoshi in that game.
Wizrobe as well. I mean, I think Yoshi from Smash 64. I think if you had to pick a character, if you had to pick a Yoshi in terms of the best designed one, probably Smash 64.
Easily.
And then you also mentioned Smash 4, right?
Yes.
Where would we go there? I think
Oh, Bayonetta.
I think we could talk about. I think Sheik is up there.
Yeah, post nerf, obviously.
Post nerf Sheik is really good. I think maybe post nerf ZSS, like maybe.
How do you feel about Marth
eh.
in that game?
Oh,
he's definitely
Marth
also-
is up there, but
Yeah,
Brawl is
but
better.
saying Marth is kind of cheating, to be honest.
he?
Yeah, Marth is always cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Except in Ultimate, because he's so bad.
yeah. trying to think of the other like top tiers, and I mean Mewtwo. I mean Mewtwo is kind of lame, but it was cool seeing Mewtwo be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for once.
Even though his game plan was air dodge, air dodge, air dodge. Dang, Mario was not cool in that game whatsoever. No. Fox,
maybe.
I think Fox is pretty good. But I think Melee Fox is still king for a reason.
Yeah.
I gotta look up the Smash 4 tier list, bro, for this one.
Smash 4 Captain Falcon?
Smash 4 Captain Falcon was pretty sick. Yeah. I will say that. I do think also Diddy Kong, even though obviously we have our complaints about Diddy Kong in Smash 4, has a very long legacy in terms of just one of the most storied characters. Although I think Ultimate Diddy Kong is probably the best designed Diddy Kong has been. And then you could maybe say, honestly, underrated, Lucario.
Lucario, that's an interesting one.
Because he's so poorly designed that it's almost cool. Like there's a novelty to it that makes it interesting.
You could say that about like Luigi. He's so poorly designed, it's funny.
Not in terms of Ultimate, I would say that about Hero.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
That's how I view Lucario in Smash 4. I mean, I still think Sue versus Zero is like a top 5 Smash set.
Oh yeah.
In all of Smash history. Like that is some of the highest level gameplay you will literally ever see in a fighting game period.
Me, a gambling addict, trying to take my mind off the slot machine, and I play Hero.
Little detox right there, yeah.
But I mean, I feel like there's just a lot less randomness in Smash 4. You know what I mean?
Well,
no, because you have to factor.
You had to be there.
No, because you have to factor in Rage, which
was
literally
insane.
changes. It
changed everything.
For FGC viewers, it's pretty much like a passive version of X Factor.
Yeah, it's X Factor on steroids basically. But
no, X Factor is still the steroids, but it's just that Smash 4 it was a passive thing instead of a thing you. It wasn't a separate button.
I don't know, but I kind of think of Rage the same way I think of like Street Fighter Critical Art, though.
No, it is not the same. It is nowhere near the same.
Speaking of Rage, do you guys want to talk about Smash 4 Bayo and Smash 4 Bayo Rage and the top 5 worst designed Smash characters of all time?
Of course,
let's do it.
Listen, I think Bayonetta is definitely up there. I think we gotta include some Brawl characters. You can really take your pick. I mean, a lot of people would say Meta Knight, but I think Meta Knight is cool.
Ices is easily
but Ices
worse.
is oh my goodness,
oh
Ices.
My Lord.
Really is like the absolute like extrapolation of like the touch of death play style. It's like, you know, Kazuya and Ultimate to the umpteenth extent. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if you watch like back in the day, those brawl sets of like 9B versus did 9B play Ice Climbers or Men? I'm not sure, but we see like Ice Climbers versus Meta Knight matchup, and it's literally just, you know, ground camping from Ice Climbers players versus air camping from Meta Knight players. You know what I mean? I also think, dude, like Olimar with 5 Pikmin.
6.
Or 6? Like, that's insane.
Diddy Kong with 2 bananas.
Like, there...
He had 2?
Yes. Yeah, he had 2 bananas.
Yes.
That's
was
deplorable.
I was making the argument earlier because we were playing Brawl Friendly. It's like, I think Falco is also, like, an indictment on competitive game design. Having throw loops and having short hop double laser is diabolical, dude. Who thought that was a good idea? And he also has that his backer is also insanely broken too. Like,
yeah,
he has such a simple game plan that is so effective. He obviously isn't the best character in the game. He's probably like 6 or 5.
He is his best spacey though.
But he is the best spacey, and not in a good way.
It takes it's impressive that they managed to make Falco lame.
I
after
know.
What he was in Melee. That's insane.
I know.
Because he's like the coolest character in Melee.
And they made him lame in Smash 4 too because he sucked.
Yeah.
And all he had was down tilt.
And worst design in 64, I would say, is Kirby. Because why does he have that up tilt and his shield breaks? Down air also just shield breaks straight up.
I think also Link, not because Link is bad, but because his up B pisses me off.
Oh yeah.
Why does he go that low with his up B?
It goes nowhere.
It goes nowhere. I hate that. But I think Smash 4 Bayo is definitely there. Brawl Ices has to be there. I don't think there's a single. You could maybe include a Melee character like Bowser that's just so like comically bad that like why is he in the game? Also,
I'd
could go Game and Watch because he literally like is not functionable.
Yeah, I would also argue like every clone character because they don't know how to do them right.
Yeah, they don't know how to do them right.
But like competitive wise, like worst.
But like
design.
Ganon is cool.
He is.
You know,
Yeah.
competitively.
Well, I don't know. I would disagree with you about the clone characters though, because like I'm gonna talk about Chrom again, guys.
Well,
no,
well,
talking about
that's when they like gave them more interesting stuff to the Echo Fighters. But like in Melee clones, like
Really
they were
uninspired.
extremely lazy because of time constraints.
Dude,
Oh, yeah,
also,
true.
Brawl Sonic. Because they gave half of his movesets just other moves from other characters. But I think on a competitive level, I think, again, Brawl Ices, Smash 4 Bayo, I think Ultimate Steve or Ultimate Min Min, or both.
I think Min Min is worse because
Oh my god, I hate
I don't
Min Min.
understand how you have a character who's like Dhalsim except who can cover more space and doesn't have a hurt box on the arms.
Yeah. I would argue Steve just because being able to place blocks in midair not only breaks the game, but also doesn't make sense in Minecraft canon as well, because you can't do that in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, for sure. I really don't know why they did that. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if it was deliberate because like I think half the stuff they discovered with Steve was not even intentional.
Yeah.
But still, like just like the scaling on Diamond is insane.
It's better
Yeah.
than one wing aim.
So honestly, I would go Ultimate Steve and Ultimate Min Min, and then my last pick would be like Brawl Olimar. In my personal opinion, at least.
Is Brawl Olimar just like really slow?
Again, like
No, six
Pikmin, bro.
Pikmin.
Oh my.
And he has a tether recovery.
Okay, well that's actually a bad thing for Olimar. You
Oh,
literally
yeah.
just grab the ledge and he
That's
dies.
true.
Not true. Anyway,
Let me run
Because
my
that game
agenda.
had edge hog. Bring back edge hogging, please. I miss
True.
edge. I miss when edge guarding was real.
Anyway, is that the last legacy discussion we had?
I mean, we do have a lot more, but I don't know how much time we have left.
We have about half a segment left. Do we want to like cover one more and then go into Riptide?
We'll cover one more and then go into Riptide.
Okay. Do you want to do like greatest Smash players ever?
We have a pick. Great Smash players ever, most underrated Smash players ever, greatest matchups in Smash history, and greatest rivalries in Smash history. I think what we should do is talk about Zain winning Riptide and see where does Zain rank in terms of the greatest Melee players of all time. Because Zain has won his 4th Super Major in a row. You know, Gommel, Supernova, Collision, and now he has just won Riptide.
And we were just saying that puts him one away from being tied with Armada.
Yeah, tied with Armada for Super Major wins. And he's already number 3 all time in terms of major wins. He's won 21 majors, only behind Mango, who has 29, and Hungrybox, who has 36. Which, by the way, 36 is crazy.
Yeah. What?
Peak Hungrybox was like, that was a real like reign of terror.
Oh, yeah.
He was winning everything.
Oh my god. But okay, well, we have Zain winning Riptide Melee. We have Armada winning how many did you say?
He has 19 total major wins. And he has, and of those, 12 of those are super majors.
So if we're going like most dominant player, are we going most dominant players of all time, greatest players of all time?
I think the greatest Melee players of all time is a combination of peak and longevity. I think the greatest peak, a lot of people would argue that the greatest peak in Melee history is probably peak Armada.
And I would also argue, well, not really argue, but also mention Ken in the early days.
Ken, and obviously, like, it's hard to gauge because that was, like, just inherently a lower level of play because of how far Melee's gone and because of how much bigger it's gotten. But
Yeah.
we always have to respect, like, Ken being, like, that, being the original GOAT. You know what I mean? He's, like, the OG, like, kind of like Jim Brown in the NFL. He's, like, the original GOAT. And so he's undoubtedly, like, at least top 5 all time. I think he probably always will be.
No, he really is an urban legend. Like he's just kind of it's a name that gets like echoed through history, you know. And,
Yeah.
like,
And in 64, and Melee, I will mention Isaiah.
Yeah.
There.
No, he was really just about. Didn't he like sandbag a lot? Like,
Yeah, he
just for fun?
sandbagged a
Yeah.
lot in Melee.
He
but
didn't care about Melee singles,
Smash
but
64 was where he took
doubles
it
he
serious.
locked in. And in 64, yes, he always locks in.
But I think if we're talking about the greatest Melee, I think we can also talk a little bit about the greatest Smash players, period. But really quick for the Melee players, obviously 1 and 2, Mango, Armada. That's really like the Jordan LeBron debate, like literally, because Mango has the longevity and then Armada has the peak. I personally think Mango's the GOAT because he has the longevity and his peak is at least comparable enough to Armada to where it's like it's not a clear wash for Armada to be the GOAT, because Mango was number 1 in the world like for like several years.
He also has like more Evo title wins, which I'd
more
argue
Evo wins.
is more valuable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Evo's a big deal.
And I think for me, what solidified him as the GOAT in my mind was him like entering another prime in like early like 2020s when he 2021 when he beat Zain and arguably the greatest Smash set of all time at Smash Summit.
Smash Summit set. Oh my god, dude! I was like freaking. I was like giddy when he won that set. I was watching
Genuinely, I think we all were, bro.
Yeah.
It was an all-time moment. I think I think Mango Armada is 1 and 2. I think Hungrybox is pretty definitively 3. Especially for that peak he had in. I would honestly argue that Hungrybox probably has the number 2 peak of all
think
time.
So.
Because dude, Hungrybox in 2018 and 2019 was like dang near unbeatable at points.
He was.
And he was clutching everything too. And he was popping off, throwing chairs, you know what I mean, jumping off stages, doing backflips.
Getting a crab thrown at him.
He getting crabs thrown at him, dude.
And
It was
becoming
crazy.
the co-owner for Team Liquid.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Signing riddles.
He was getting his money right. He was getting his placements right.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it was crazy. But I think Zain is number 4. And I think I'd have him above Ken all time.
Yeah.
Because we're witnessing one of the greatest peaks in Melee history and maybe even in Smash history.
And Zain was starting to look too like kind of like the Mango thing. He looked like he was getting washed for a little while. I think one season.
He was like, I mean, like from Zain, being washed is like being like top 5 instead of top 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But still, it really did look like he was kind of on the decline for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that he still got it.
And what's crazy is that Zain, like, he is. I mean, I'm trying to check again, like how old Zain is. He's only 29. He's not even 30 yet.
Zain is also one of the funniest streamers I have ever watched in the Smash community. Like, also you can tell he's good at the game because he got every character to Grandmaster. He got top 50 on the leaderboards with Kirby
I know, bro.
in 2 weeks. By the way,
He's crazy.
That's great.
I think. But if we talk about the greatest Smash players of all time, Zain kind of has a ways to go because he's just like an amazing Melee player. Like, he doesn't play any other games like that. Whereas we think about M2K, who is probably like on the lower end of the top 10 in terms of Melee players all time. He obviously was one of the 5 gods, but he had a stronger decline than most of the 5 gods. But he's probably the best Brawl player of all time.
yes.
Either him or like 9B. He was an extremely good Smash 4 player, and I mean, obviously he's not amazing at Ultimate, but there was a period in time where he was like putting up results at like very early game. He has kind of like the longevity that not a lot of people have. He's probably on their Mount Rushmore of GOAT Smash players. I think Zero is probably up there
Easily.
for how good he was at the end of Brawl. Obviously in Smash 4 goes without saying, and then even being like top 30 in Melee, which for like one season admittedly, but...
And then
still for one season. Wait. He got top 30 in Melee for one season, then just pieced out.
Yeah, because he was this was like pre Smash 4.
Oh, I see.
So he was juggling Brawl and Melee.
Yeah.
Because that was what a lot
PM.
of people were doing. And PM, he was got PM too, dude. I forgot about PM. Yeah.
PM has to be like what Thunder's Reigns or what? Junebug's up there, right?
Maybe, yeah. There's a conversation. I'm not well versed in PM though, so you'd have to let me know in the comments. But I think like Zero, MKLeo obviously goes without saying. I think M2K is up there. Like Mango, Armada. At this rate, actually I don't think Akala is up there.
No,
because
Nah,
he's
no way.
just good at Ultimate.
I don't think so.
And you have to be-
Speaking of Ultimate.
Okay. We can stop the legacy talk at that point. We only have so much time left.
I don't want
only
to talk.
have-
I don't
I-
want to talk about Ultimate.
I know you don't want to talk about Ultimate, Ganny. You made that very clear before you got in here. Can we just talk about Melee? But
I did not say that. I did say that.
you did say that.
I did say that.
But I did want to mention, just because great discussion about Legacy. I think that's a very good Mount Rushmore. But I did want to save 2 minutes just for Ultimate Riptide, because as flawed as the game might be right now, the Japanese are still showing their love for it, and goes to show why So many of them are in top 8.
Yeah, I mean, Hurt and Mia are right now battling for that winner's side of grand final spot in winners finals. We saw Akala make top 8 after getting upset. Dormigi right now just beat Wrath 3-1. Dude, we saw Zamba beat in Syrup's obviously. Oh wait, I said Zamba. Oh my god, my words are flying everywhere. But Syrup beat Akala, which is crazy because Akala has never lost to Steve Doe before.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you also beat him in the game 5, and Akala is known for game 5 Akala. You know what I mean? So that's crazy, like genuinely wild.
We also have current best player in the world, Doramigi, 3-1 Wrath.
Yes. I mean, this Riptide, obviously we don't have a lot of time to talk about it. I do kind of wish we had more time in this episode because honestly, this has been a really good ep.
Yeah, it really has been.
We've been going off today, but hopefully we can save some of these conversations for half apps.
Oh, yeah, true.
Check out the YouTube if you would like to.
Yeah, if you would like. If you please.
Last thing I'll say about Ultimate is that I think Mia's probably going to come out the victor, in my personal opinion. And also for Riptide, Axe beat Hungrybox for the first time in 11 years, which is crazy.
With Fox.
Wow.
With Fox, which is crazy. Also, shout out to Smash Poppy for playing Bowser against Wizrobe. That was hilarious. Anyways, that's the episode.
Yep, that's gonna be the episode for today. Thank you very much, Kenny, for coming on.
What an episode,
Of course.
bro.
Thanks for having me on.
It was a fire
Check
app.
out my YouTube.
Check out his YouTube if you would like.
If you would please.
Check out my Twitch.
If you would like.
feel like it. And with that, and Hap Apps, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we're gonna sign off.
Open
So,
your mind.